All right, friends, there may be some serious problems with this stream. I've never done it before. This is going live on my cell phone, and I've just tried for 2 hours to make the microphone work. Don't ask me why. So let me plug in this portion. I may want to keep short because, well, it's really heating up my phone. But I wanted to share with you my joy. Look, hey, Big Al, how are you? Is the audio okay? It's probably terrible. But look, look, look. Ah! 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 Oh, yeah, okay. It's here. It's here. It's a 3070. It's an EVGA. It's here. It's here. It's here. I'm clapping like a walrus. Yes. Yes. So, I can see chat right now. Yes, yes, yes. Thank you for the kind donations. This has made this possible. It's Alex Duncan says I also have a 3070. Great card. Oh, that's what I'm hoping for. I have just last couple of days really, really tried to go get something that would uh make the stream run better, but would not just actually break the bank. So I thank God this might be it. It might be it, but I don't know if it works. So that's what right now is about. Let's unbox it. I can't see chat on the other monitor really well. Let me try to fix this. I'm glad that audio is okay because I, for 2 hours, couldn't figure out how to make my Bluetooth headset um, be the audio source. Every time I lean forward and back, around the camera, well, the anytime I lean back and forth around the phone, um, I okay. Let's see if I can see chat here. It would sound really weird. Okay, I'm back. I'm back. So it sounds superb. Cool. I can share with you guys the trick. I just watched a few YouTube videos and was just about to give up and in despair. And where's my knife? Need a knife or scissors or something, guys. You turn off the heater. That's probably making some sounds. I apologize for advance. Anything that goes wrong in advance is what I'm trying to say here. Um, so first, here's the order of business. Let's unbox it. Let's unbox this baby. I have no focus control. It's gonna do, that no matter what I get, no matter what I do. So that just bear in mind. I'm not using any special software. This is the actual YouTube uh, software. I can't make the quality better either, even though I'm on a really super Wi-Fi 6 connection. I mean, I know the Pixel 3 it doesn't have Wi-Fi 6, but we got all the bars here. Just don't ask me why this is like this. So I assume it's an automatic thing. Opus Singer, hey, how are you guys? And thank you for being here, by the way, guys. Sorry I couldn't give you a heads up that I was going live. I've just been sitting here troubleshooting it. And the moment that it worked, I figured I'd just go live because it's getting late. I do want to check on the fires and such if this will install correctly and do good. So let's see here. Where did I put these gloves here? Uh, Excuse me, guys. I've been trying to set this up. I set up a nice little area for the computer to go on that little rug. Where the heck are they? I just set them down. Okay, madness confirmed. Uh, Sorry, I should theoretically be able to walk into different rooms. There they are. And not have the connection drop. This is way better. I tried to make a video, you guys, of me updating the computer before. I got them. And it didn't really work. I bet this looks really stupid. But the reason I have a hat on is you see the whole problem with having a heavy headset. Um, I would hate to lean over my computer and then have the headset tumble right off. So this gives me more space underneath the headband. And this is the weirdest, stupidest stream ever, but here we go. I wanted to share with you my joy and or triumph and or sorrow, whatever is going to happen here. So this is awkward. I am looking behind myself to see my other monitor. Um, in fact, maybe I could see myself if I do this. Let's check myself out in the monitor and see how stupid that looked. Um, I should multicam this. Yep, that looks definitely very stupid. But oh well, it is what it is. So Jonathan D-Man says it's not silly at all. I've always wear a hat with my headphones. Okay, so I'm in a good club, not just the dork club. Okay, cool. So Derek Rose says, open it, open it, open it, open it. Do you want me to open it? Oh, you're a coin nerd too. Do you guys have the numismatic disease? Because that's what I have. I've got cool coins, guys. I may have a spitting eagle. Yeah, that'll be a different stream. Make sure that you guys remind me. So I am going to open. I typically work on computers with gloves, and surgery requires the good stuff. So I consider it computer surgery. So what we'll do is unbox, then we'll install. At that point, I will lose the ability to see whatever's going on with the monitor. And, but oh well. So let me look behind my shoulder and see if you guys can see that okay. Okay. All right. Guys, I cannot make it any better, the resolution. So my apologies already. So this is this is a 3070. It's EVGA is considered the Cadillac brand of video cards. Now, what is this? Why am I excited? What will this do for the stream? So I used mostly donation money and matched some of my own. When I install this, assuming that it works, knock on wood, knock on wood. Ow. Okay, that's definitely not real hardwood. Okay, there we go. Um, assuming that it works, my old video card, even though I purchased it for 350 like 5, 6 years ago, should retail for around 500, and I guess I could sell it. I don't know what. I'm really torn on should I keep it for some sort of a backup. We'll discuss that later. So this is the Ampere. My old video card is a 10 series. So people may wonder, what is 3070 about? So it's really easy with an NVIDIA card to know what's good. The first two numbers, I don't know if you can read the 30. You probably can't. Yeah, you probably can't. Okay, it says 3070 right here. The first two numbers are kind of like the year. If you think about this as a cars, video cards are like cars. The video cards, there isn't a new batch, like a new round of them every single year like a car. It's about every 2 years to 2.5. But that series is the first two numbers. So the current series, the ones that you can buy right now that are hot off the press, being manufactured, the latest and greatest, are the 30 series. So that's done with. Mine's a 10 series, so I'm 2 generations behind. That is really bad for being in video production for any purpose. You have to keep up with this. So the second two numbers, so 70, you'll either say 50, 60, 70, 80, or 90 in general. That's how good the card is. That's like the difference between complete and utter garbage to somewhat like garbage to okay to good, to very good to premium to Cadillac. So lower the number, the more garbage it is. So the 50s cards, 40s and 50s are just complete and utter garbage. It's going to be okay for like making a home theater PC. It'll play, videos, it'll play the oldest and junkiest of games that don't really demand anything, League of Legends and that sort of thing, that are just not intense. But if you want to do anything more with it, such as make a video, uh, have smooth video playback with multiple tabs open like we do on Firestream, you need to go up higher in the numbers. And so the 60s cards are the bare minimum for like smooth gaming at medium settings. Or you can make a video, like I could shoot some with the camera, get it on the computer and render to make an actual movie. It would take quite a long time on a 60s card, but it would be adequate. If you're serious and doing stuff live, you need an 80s card. Is this an 80s card? No, this is a 70. But the 70 is pretty decent for it. I mean, I'm using a 1072 Ti, which is like a 5-year-old video card. This is just a straight up 70. So why did I settle for a 70 instead of an 80? That's because of all the Bitcoin mining stuff. These video cards are extremely hard to get. If this works, I am very lucky. If it doesn't work, then I am hosed. It's, it's just like fires, like when you see them burning at night, they're either well within the containment lines and they're good, or it's extremely bad and they're not. It's one or the other. So I did a little bit of research thinking that the 70 card would not be good enough. The MSRP on a 70s card is something like 600. I did not pay 600. Nobody can get them for like 600, or 700. Yeah, I think it's just 600. I can't remember. What are the MSRPs? I think I actually wrote that down. I think I did, guys. Yeah, I did. Okay, 30s card prices instead of talking out of my whatever. It actually is an MSRP of $4.99. $4.99. I did not pay $4.99. Nobody can pay that right now. So if we were to bump up to the 3080, which is what I think I need for streaming, video editing, that would be $6.99 retail, the 3080. However, all 3080s, the cheapest I could ever find were $1,600. Because if the moment that they hit the shelves, somebody buys them and then they resell them for twice or even a little bit more than double the price. So this 3070 retails for $4.99, but I'm only going to say that I paid less than $1,000 for it. And we'll see if I got hosed or not. So, all right, let's unbox the thing. And worth noting, when I found out, why did I settle for 3070 instead of saving up the extra money for like 16, till I had 1600? That's because I found out that the 3070 cards are actually way more robust than your typical 70. Um, the difference between what I currently have and what a 3070 is monumental. These 30s these 30s editions were so much better than the 2 years ago 20s editions. The 20 editions came out in 2019, something like that. I guess it's almost 3 years ago now. That's kind of blowing my mind. These were more extraordinary than last in the last batch. So a 70 performs a bit more like an 80 of a couple of years ago. Now there's a things called TI editions, and sometimes you'll see 3060 Ti, 3070 Ti, 3080 Ti, blah blah blah, and that just means it's souped up a little bit extra. But I did my research, and 3070 Ti's, while they are a little bit more souped up, their price does not at all justify. It just does not justify it. I mean, they are absolutely a ripoff. And we can thank Gamers Nexus for walking us through that. That's a different YouTube channel. Now, worth noting also, this is an LHR card, light hash rate. NVIDIA thought they had it all figured out. They figured that they'd make two different types of cards, the ones that can do Bitcoin mining, and those miners are buying them up by the thousands. Uh, they thought they'd release to the public a special kind of card where Bitcoin mining didn't work, so that the Bitcoin miners wouldn't buy them, and then the public would be able to buy this one for the legitimate purposes. Not that mining is illegitimate, but I'm just you know what I'm saying. I'm gonna stick by that. Legitimate, video purposes. But wouldn't you know, somebody already hacked it, and the LHR cards are being purchased by Bitcoin miners anyway. Oh, well. So I did pop the seals. I had to do this in the parking lot where I met the person, and to make sure that what I paid for was in the box. And boy, am I happy. Okay, let's flip it. Ooh, yeah. So we have tri fans, guys. And not only are these tri fans, there's a little bit of texture on the fans. Oh, there's a smell to it. Mm, man, it's good. It's that new car kind of a smell, really. Now, I'm gonna be careful. Oh, yeah, there we go. Let's put the box over here. Ground myself. Okay. So, come on out, baby. This is like giving birth. Ah, here we go. It's a boy. Congratulations. Wow, the plastic and stuff is still on it. So there's different editions of these cards. Now, the more powerful they are, the more heat they're going to generate. You can see this where my finger is back here. I hope it's visible. This is it's like a radiator, but it does not contain water. It's got the fins. I'm trying to tell you about the design of it. Little fins, like aluminum fins, behind the fans, and then the fans will cool off the fins, and that's how it keeps the whole shebang cool. And you can see the kind of robust. This is quite hefty. Um, the aluminum here, and then you can see some copper in there. Now, sometimes things are copper plated, but in this case, I think it might be a copper heat pipe kind of a situation. I don't know. We'll see. But there's a plate here where the actual behind this strip is the actual processor. See the 4 screws, and that's where this plate is kind of attached. But if you could see through it right here, there's a plate that goes directly on it, and there's a bit of paste that's like a white peanut butter. And the heat gets transferred through the plate and then through the heat pipes and then over here. Now, tri fans means that, and this gigantic length of it, that's all mostly cooling. The GPU itself is like the size of a silver dollar, on the other side of this plate right here. It's just not that big, right in front of these screws, like so. And so the individual companies can make them faster, called overclocking, faster than they would normally come from the store. Now, I want to look back at chat, see if you guys can actually see what I'm holding. Uh, this is a terrible stream, guys. This is the worst quality. I don't know. I don't know how to make this better. Is this better if I hold it up? Okay. There's a huge delay, so I'm holding it out and looking back at. Okay, looking. I'll definitely have to do this in the future with a monitor where I can see what I'm doing. So yeah, Ricardo says, I wish California rained. I know, I know, but this is actually hurting. Yeah, you're right, Jonathan. Titanium edition is what TI stands for. Derek says, stop lying. We know you're going to Bitcoin mine. Oh man. Three Winters says, I got a PC with a 3060 Ti, which is pretty close to a 3070. Big update from the 1070. Oh, I imagine Three Winters. I imagine. So I actually was going to buy a 2080. Um, but I found that the 1070, or excuse me, the 3070 just about outclassed it. So there we go. The main thing that we get here is not only is there new technology that makes things better, um, it's more beefy. We also have the fact that I have double the video memory now. Now I like these little textures. These are cute. I don't know if you can see these, but these are little E's for the EVGA logo. And they're texturing the fans. I think that's pretty funny. But I found out that little fan textures can actually improve noise and cooling. Noctua fans have these like small ribs. If you think of a fan as like a scoop for air, they have small little lines on top of them. And that actually is kind of a cutting edge technology to do something to make fans more efficient. But what we'll be doing is installing it in the machine. This is the rear. Wow, you can kind of see the copper heat pipes in there. Let me. Okay, yeah, all right. So this is actually heavy for me to hold right now, and I don't want to drop it. We have uh, one HDMI and three display ports. That's an issue because I have two monitors that are HDMI only. They're actually both TVs. So I might have to lickety split get a display port to HDMI adapter. I don't think I have one. So I might have to go single monitor for 2 days, which might be actually really bad for the stream. But we'll figure this out. There's a remarkable lack of accessories. There's no SLI bridge. There's nothing. There's no like stickers. Ouch. Let's see what this installation guide. Okay. How to install it. Two-way SLI and 4 slots. So yeah, it's so wide that it takes up to 2 slots. Now on my motherboard, I have. Oh, what we also have. Ouch! I gotta set this down. I gotta show you guys. I've got the 2 terabyte NVMe drive. So this sucker, it's only PCI Express 3, but that's totally okay. 2 terabyte. This will make all the video transfers be really quickly, go really quickly. So later when I'm doing serious video editing, I want to put in 2 of these, and the video editing program will read from one of these and write to another one. So if you read from one, write to another one, you have maximum speed. So I carefully chose my motherboard to be able to handle that capability. So that'll be good. I'm trying to keep up with chat. I really can't. So mods, I'm relying on you guys. I see tiny little words above the camera, and then they fade out immediately, and I can lean over and look at the monitor. Jay says I'll check back later for cheesecake. Good luck. All right, yeah, it's the best stream ever. Yeah, totally is. This is extreme quality here. Um, but so let's get to it. The I thought this was 2 HDMIs. Whoopsie. No matter. You know, we'll this is so cute. There's a little rubber thing. So this is when you plant it in the computer, this little guy comes off here. You see that's gold? These gold fingers. Actually called gold fingers. Da, da, wah, wah, wah. Gold fingers. He's the man. The man with the. Never mind. But you get the idea. They're actually called gold fingers, and it sits in a slot wherever two electronics speak to each other, wherever data is transferred. That's gold on gold, and it's just plate. However, there is a lot of gold in all computers and electronics. People just don't realize that almost everything that looks like gold actually is gold plating. So this will communicate all the information that's going on with the card to the computer through this slot. And this is the upside of it. This is the top, and it'll go slotting down into the computer. And I'll live stream that, so you'll see. I think it's time to take off the wrap, guys. It's very ASMR, you know. Let me put it up by my. I'm trying to put it up by my headset so you can hear this. You hear that? It's terrible filming, I know. Sorry. Oh, okay. Here we go. Ready? Ready? Ah, yeah. I love doing that. It's so shiny. It's so shiny. Yeah. Here we go. Yep. And So one of the important things is this is a fan connector. You want to make sure these are on and snug. So just pushing your finger against that makes makes me feel a little better that it is snug and secure. Now this is some hefty power requirement. What's my power supply? I think it's an 850 watt. That's double 6 pins. Wait, no, double 8 pins. I just looked down. I can't count. So that's a 16 pin power supply requirement. Now I just have a panicky thought. Where did I put the power supply wires, the cables? I have a fully modular power supply, which means I can detach the cables. That's all that means. I hope they're handy. Otherwise, we could plug it into the computer, but then we can't plug in the power. So this is where the power goes, has no data transfer. It's just like plugging something into a wall. The data goes through this into the computer's slots. So um, either way, let's take off the rest. Oh, look at this. Oh, okay. That's cool. All right, I'm going to save that for some reason. Okay, so now we've fully dusted her off. God, this is hefty. Part of the expense in this has got to be a little bit of the gold, copper, and aluminum because those kind of went up during the pandemic. Copper foil right now is kind of skyrocketed due to before the Delta variant, people thought that the economy would just take off like a rocket because everybody thought they were going to be safe as soon as, well, vaccines came out. But when the Delta variant came out, then all of a sudden copper crashed again. But that didn't crash before a whole bunch of electronics manufacturers bought it at that extremely high price. So that has, along with tariffs and everything, caused extreme part, and the shortages has caused the extreme price jump. It's an ASMR channel. Yes, it is. Absolutely. ASMR, EVGA. Let's spin a fan. Oops, sorry guys. I just rammed the microphone right into the phone. Okay. I don't know if you can hear that, but hopefully it's a nice and quiet card. Now here are some more fan plugins, and I'm just going to gently make sure they're all nice and seated right there, just because you would be very surprised when you work on computers how many problems get solved if something doesn't turn on or doesn't work or some fan doesn't spin and you do this squish and it just wasn't seated all the way. If you ever have a computer problem, just make sure you do that step. And for the crazy thing is sometimes that fixes everything. Okay, so here's the next step. I'm going to keep this streaming. I'm going to set this right here on the glass desk. Okay, no static fear up there. This is the crappiest amount of, smallest amount of stuff inside of a box I've ever seen. I think this is really cheap. They didn't include any SLI bridges. Come on, it's a little ribbon, this big. Eh, I guess it's because SLI is kind of going by the wayside anymore. What SLI is if you have two of these babies or even more. Um, well, up here usually is where it is. There would be a slot, and you put this cord in, and the other video card is next to it, and it would bridge the gap, just like kind of like hooking up two horses to pull a wagon or a chariot instead of one. Oh boy, 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 oh boy. I've got a card. Oh boy, 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 oh boy. I got a card. I got a card in my hand. If this works, this is the most powerful graphics card I've ever owned. Yes, this will be so good. This will be so good. Just it's cute. It's doing a dance. Oh boy, oh boy. Sorry if this is making anybody sick. Yay, 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 yay. Okay. Setting it down. Now, the next step on the PC here to install this puppy, I've already pre-downloaded the drivers. The 30s cards are going to be very different drivers than my 10 series cards. Ouch, my knees. Sorry, let me put stuff away. over there. Ow! Ah, and stubbed my toe and nearly fall. Okay, yeah, that's great. So on the computer now, I gotta stop watching my own stream. This is so weird, by the way, to walk ouch over to my computer and see my my floor on the TV. Um, what the procedure is I'm gonna shut down what's going on with the PC, and I go to I go over to Device Manager, and I'm gonna right click my old card, and I'm gonna hit uninstall. It's easy as pie to reinstall a card, so it doesn't particularly matter. So let's go to Device Manager, Display Adapters. I know you guys can't see this on. If I grabbed the phone and showed you, it would just be boring anyway. I'm just going to go and hit uninstall. It says NVIDIA GeForce GTX 1070 Ti. Warning: you're about to uninstall a device from your system. Yeah, I know that. Okay, so we hit the button to uninstall it. So the screen went black. And now we have a whole bunch of gigantic icons all over the computer because it takes away the drivers um, for the video card, and it goes and it substitutes it substitutes the ones that just come with Windows. So I'm going to hit the shutdown button. Now, for those of you who are geeks and nerds, yes, I know about resizable bar, disabling CSM, and enabling um, oh shoot, what I'm forgetting about. Ouch, that's my knees. Ah, I know about disabling legacy mode. However, my C drive is in MBR, so I'm going to need to. Time to get underneath here and plug everything. I shall need to reinstall Windows or convert C drive. I have this gut feeling that I should just do a full reinstall. That'll get rid of any bugs and weirdness from any registry clutter. Whenever you install computer programs, sorry, I'm just under the desk pulling all the wires out. Whenever you install and remove programs, install, uninstall, blah, 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 when you're doing that, you're filling up the Windows registry. Here's the dust filter on the top of my PC. Let's put it over there. She weighs a ton. It's because I've got a super power supply in here. Okay. Dang it. I'm already kicking myself. I don't know where all of the cables are. For the video card, that's a single 8-pin. It's a single 8-pin connector. There should be a secondary. Now, we need both. If you ever have a video card with more than one connector, all of them really need to be populated, meaning plug in everything, unless there's some special instructions. Now, let me move this so that you could see it. I'm on my knees, sort of. I have the cell phone suspended above myself. Hey, John Stoker, and hey, everybody. I can barely see chat. Thank you, mods, for handling things. Um, so that's my processor. Here's the old video card. Sticks of RAM right there. This is a Noctua fan. They're always ugly, but they're premium. They're always a chocolatey brown, and people have told Noctua for like decades, can we please have some other colors than coffee or mud or whatever derogatory color you want to call that. And Noctua is like, they're an Austrian company. They're like, no. So I have no idea what the strategy is behind that, but I do recommend these, and they're pricey, but they will last you like 12 years or something, and they'll be quiet for video production, and uh, make it so that you can make an actual stream without, without fan noises. Sorry, I just bumped the camera. Okay, so as you can see, I'm kind of in peasant mode. That's the stock cooler. I did have a water cooler. So this is the radiator tray for the water cooler. In this particular case, this is a Fantex. You would pull the radiator out right here. Oh God, don't snag. That's what frightens me about this case, is it was snagging the CPU wires right there. I injured myself bad on this case. This is where you would mount a radiator to cool the processor, and it can accommodate a pretty elaborately huge one for water cooling your processor, and keeps it cooler, keeps it quieter. I love water cooling. So I had one in there, and I made this heavy. And so I loved this case at first. I loved how, customizable it is, because you could pull this out. You can, it doesn't have to be there. But here's the thing that happened. When this is heavy, you have to hold it like this and guide it in. So you add your radiator and then you slide it. And that's when it grabbed my hand and it took all the flesh here and sucked it into that slot because it fell. So there's a huge design flaw with the case, whereas it doesn't go smoothly. It's too tight on each side, and that's what happened. It went slide in, and my flesh went with it. So I screamed like a banshee in the middle of the night when I was installing stuff on my computer. Okay, guys, I'll get to it. So first of all, before I do this, I better find that cable. I think I have them right over here in the room. Hope to God I do. Yeah, peripheral. Okay, that's a bunch of SATA cables. It's Molex. Oh God, guys. Where would the second EVGA cable be? I thought it was in this box. I really thought it was in this box. Okay, don't panic. It's not. It's not. That's my Supernova right there. We've got the wattage. That's 850 watts. Gold rated. Dad got me that for Christmas. He's awesome. Well, what the heck do I do if I don't have the other cable? I have like a computer junk drawer. Did they get stuffed in here? No, it's Molex. Oh God. Okay. Dear guys, I can always just button everything back up and put it back together. Sorry for the rummaging sound. But I want to test this baby out right now. I do have a single 8, a 6+2. But where would the other one be? Sometimes people store their extra cables down here, but that's not my habit, so I know it's not down in there. Darg. Okay, grr. One of my rules is like never work on your computer in the middle of the night because you always have to go to the store, and that's when stores are closed. Not that you can just get one of these. They're usually brand specific. I have a couple more areas. I have a box of CPUs. Box of CPUs. Pens. Okay. Random cords. That's an entire. Oh, there's a complete power supply back in there, but it's not good enough. It wouldn't have all these Okay. All right. I'm gonna check the other one. Uh, okay, I have over here. I really thought it was in this motherboard box. I dug it out of the closet. I'm so happy, and I opened it up, and the wires are not present. Um, okay, there's a bunch of old dead mice. So the reason that there's so much stuff I got to dig through is I actually repair computers. So I have everybody's old spare parts, like there's a random Lenovo power supply in there for a laptop. I have so many spare parts, it's extremely difficult to keep track of like what I even have anymore. I gotta take an inventory. I think what I just opened was a huge bin full of USB cords, extension cords, monster cables, audio. Okay, most of these are complete junk, but but valuable as test units. Oh man, this is gonna drive me insane. Um, I could put in the card, go get the cable, come back and restream it so you guys can just see what the idea is. Like, how do you install a card? You know, Husky says, hi, I'm here after eating peanut butter. Alan T says, this is a lot easier than replacing a 67 Corvette's radiator. I don't know. It is, So there's a lot of car guys that love working on computers. Once I show them how you can trick out your computer, how you can put lights on it and make it fancy. Like the people who like customizing cars really are into this, and females. What drew me to computers was I thought they were beige pieces of crap. But once Mac started getting like colors into computers back in the 90s, they had a bit more appeal, that it wasn't just a stale nerdy kind of environment. I could design things with art. So I was doing RGB lighting and such way before it was cool, and considered every piece of hardware like a work of art that I would set up. Um, it's got a huge amount of appeal for me. Not gonna lie with that factor, but the when this is lit up with the colors, it looks pretty cool. Except for the brown fan, but it's like one of those funny conversation pieces that people go, "Oh, this is so deluxe." Ah, Noctuas. But since Noctuas are some of the most expensive and well-regarded fans on Earth, you can't really you can't really say, "Oh, that's not a good item inside of your PC." But people kind of make fun of it. So anyway, I'll get to it. I'll just show you guys how to install the video card. Then I'm gonna go out. Probably end this because it's going to overheat my phone at any moment now. And then I will go do a thorough search, a real, sorry about the noises, a real thorough search of where I hide my cables. And hopefully we'll be back up and running here. But it's getting kind of late, and let's see, always have a dish. It's getting a little late. I don't know if we're going to be able to do like Firestream tonight. How are the fires going? I've had encouraging, from what I've been able to track on this before I went on the quest to get the video card, which was involved a long drive. Um, I was encouraged the fact that we couldn't see much on the cams anymore. All right, now that I've undone the screws, see how loose it is in here. Sorry if this is very hard for you to see. It probably is, but I can't see what I'm showing you, so apologies in advance. You have to pull a lever to release it from the slot. So um, this particular motherboard is tight. I'm going to stick my thumbnail. There we go. I just push down with my thumb like so. See how it was kind of released? Not all the way. Oh, come on. we go. So you put down pressure and you pull up at the same time. Now in comparison to the other card, this is an Asus Cerberus. Interesting small fan blade design, and it has Cerberus, the Greek mythological Cerberus. See the three heads of the dog, and in the back is his snake tail to the very right of the fan. I thought that was a really cool, branding. However, I'm not a fan of Asus in general. I know that sounds like antithema, like what? Asus is a Cadillac brand. They have not treated me very well personally in my dealings with them, and I've had their equipment fail on me a lot. This, however, has been a great video card. It's been nice and robust and sturdy and quiet, and it wasn't one of the most deluxe. I even still have some of the port covers on it. It's not the most deluxe model at 1070 Ti. However, it was quite a value at 350ish. I think it MSRP'd for like 400, and I got it on sale several years ago, and now it's worth 500. Go figure. And you can see that they had a nice flourish right here. It says Asus in gold foil. I'm sorry this will not focus underneath my finger. Come on, come on, YouTube. Could you just there? I think it almost did for a second. There. I thought that was a pretty swag kind of touch. In the past, almost all the logos of things like Intel and AMD used to be in gold back when, they're before before 2001. Gold was pretty cheap, so they slathered it on liberally onto all kinds of parts. So you can kind of get an idea because you could see through it. See the heat pipe on the left will distribute the heat up to the fins where the fan then cools it. What I don't like is this plastic housing. Now, plastic is an insulator, meaning heat shall not pass, or cold. Insulation means heat shall not pass, which is bad. You want all the heat to dissipate right off this thing. It should be like an aluminum, a sheet aluminum, steel, something, but plastic is a heat trapper. And I've heard of a lot of people that would remove this thing and get better performance. And it's only attached by some screws, so it technically can come off. I just don't know where the fans would seat anymore, so I never touched it. I never decided. I never monkeyed around with it, so or modded it, as people would say. Now here's our contrast. You see how the three fans and the size difference is pretty comparable. Um, it's a little bit longer. It's way heavier, way heavier. There's a lot of metal in this thing cooling this down. So when you're going to buy a video card, one of the very easiest ways you could tell if you're getting power, how many fans you got on the baby. You got triple fan, or you got water cooling, you got something powerful that can be overclocked. Overclocking from the factory is something I think EVGA did with this one, the XC3. We'll have to look it up. I just took what I could get. I did my research on which brands and which designs were kind of best. Each brand will have a little different take on the basic design that NVIDIA makes, and then they'll go to town with their own fan shape, their own heat dissipator system, they'll clock the engine, so to speak, at a certain speed. So the Alizol is at 78% containment. Oh, that's wonderful. Sorry, I can barely keep up with chat because when I look up at when I look up here at the phone, it disappears. I can't touch buttons or it's going to wiggle the camera all over the place. So yeah, I do like it. I do like it. Ricardo says your image for the stream is what I see out of my window. Yeah, it was. So the funny story about the title card of the stream or the thumbnail is here I am holding my phone, like, which one of the cameras is going to be, think of this as my phone. I'm like, look, which one of the cameras is going to show this? It says, add a thumbnail to your video. I've never done this on mobile before. So I went, okay, add a thumbnail. And it says smile. And I went, what? And I frowned and it goes, and takes a picture of my face. So I tried it again and tried to look as suspicious as possible. I hope this is legit. I really hope. I really, really hope. So anyway, this is how you install a video card. Um, you'll have different PCI Express slots in most motherboards. Now this is a fancy one. This is a Gigabyte Vision D B550 chipset. This is your chipset. So with all of your video card and your NVMe solid state drives, which are the new fancy ones, that look like this, like that. They go here. If you think about this guy, this is kind of like a second processor of the computer. Don't crucify me right now saying you're oversimplifying stuff. Well, exactly. I'm like trying to talk to people that don't know anything about computers. This is what people don't realize, and your motherboard is super important. Now, this is a heat sink. It's a chunk of aluminum with a logo on it, but it's on top of something called the chipset. This chipset, you want it to be the most powerful that you can get for any sort of a video application, such as streaming, etc. Because the chipset's power, it'll make your motherboard more expensive to get a good one. The chipset's power con- controls how fast and how many ports and stuff you can have. So B550 is not as powerful as the X570. So why did I choose a B550? There's no fan here, that's why. The X570 was powerful, but it overheated like crazy. And so there was a tiny miniature fan on the dang things. Now, I swore to God I would never, ever own another motherboard with a tiny fan on it again. No, because those things, the smaller a fan, the louder it is, and the faster it has to spin in order to cool anything. There's a lot of heat going on in that thing because it's going to control both of these solid state drives, which go here and here, the video card that goes here, the USB ports too are controlled by this guy. It the amount of USB ports that you can have, like right on the motherboard, on the very back of the computer, it all goes through here and then talks to the processor. So I went with B550 because they made it almost as good as the X570. But when those little fans start to fail, they vibrate, and then you turn on your computer and it sounds like and is the worst sounds of my life that I've ever heard coming from a computer or from those tiny fans. Um, if you remember the early 90s computers, they all sounded like an airplane when you turned them on because most fans back then were 80 millimeters or smaller, even 60, which are like just little things. And these chipset fans were like 30 millimeters. They were tiny, and they've got they finally, it took them decades, but they finally figured out let's put really big fans in computers so that they spin slower, but scoop more air and they're quieter. It's like bing, 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 bing. Wow, now computers are quiet. But in the past, the actual cases didn't support little fans. And that was the issue. That's why computers were hot inside because they were mostly a steel heat cage. Um, Worse plastic when that piano, remember that piano black? Oh guys, I forgot this. Remember the piano black HPs and stuff that used to exist? It was like a stupid trend where computers looked great, but you could fry an egg on the top of them because the plastic cases just trapped all the heat. That was even worse than the old steel boxes. At least steel used to dissipate some heat. Okay, I need fingernail power. I can't. Okay, we got it. Yeah, we got it. Okay, listen. Ready, guys? ASMR time. You ready? I should not leave that on. That would trap a lot of heat. Okay, so anyway, now we have it fully unclothed, derobed, whatever you want to call that. It's an interesting honeycomb design. I think it's hideous, but nobody ever sees this side of the video card, so I guess it doesn't matter. It's kind of punctuated by holes back here. You can kind of see the copper heat pipes that are impregnated in this radiator-looking thing. It's not a true radiator. It doesn't have any water in it, but you get the idea. I'm glad that the plastic molding is now thin and on the other sides, unlike that Asus monstrosity of plastic all over the thing, you know. So this this will fit in like so. Man, it's heavy. My computer just got a lot heavier with this guy. It's way easier to install than to remove these things. I have to make sure with the slots lined up. I have to see if this spacer has to go. These are spacers, they come out, you just remove the screw. And my old one allowed for the top spacer to be present. Looks like this one will too. Now, I do not have a solid state under here. This is the heat sink for the #1 solid state slot. More nerd speak. I'm sorry if this is boring, you guys. Um, I found out that because it's the B550 chipset, we got some limitations. We only have 4 SATA ports here. That's okay. Then we only have 2 M2 slots, which are NVMe PCI Express 4 slots. This is a PCI Express 4, maybe 16X, 16 speed and 16X size PCI Express slot. It has a lovely silver color to it. That's just grand. So here's the good shot of the lever that I was trying to, this releases the cards. This clicks in a locked position, and you can push down and release them. Um, I think we got the correct spacers here and here free. All you do is take the gold teeth and you find your slot. You want the one that's closest to the CPU, the one that's further north, so to speak. Populate that one. It's almost always faster than the ones that are south. This is an 8X. This is a 4X down here. I found out some bad things about the motherboard that just that weren't clear until I bought it and the manual came with it. Now, I'm still really pleased with what this motherboard can do. It has 2 USB-C ports that are both Thunderbolt enabled. And for less than $300, that's insane. To have Thunderbolt, that's true Intel Thunderbolt, dude. That means I could daisy chain like 20 hard drives off of each other. It'd be like having 20 super speed USB ports out the back. Anyway, that's why I bought this motherboard, and I made, it makes a couple sacrifices to have that Thunderbolt and to have the PCI Express 4. The the CPU helps out the chipset to make it all run fast. So I have to have a powerful CPU to help this out. However, if I was going to go with the X570 motherboard, which would technically be a little bit more robust, we were looking at $350 and $450 motherboards, and that's just insane to me. I'd rather spend the money on, the actual super components you need than spending everything on the motherboard and then not being able to afford everything else. So this is the right amount of trade-offs that this does. However, if I populate this #2 PCI Express slot, which I was thinking about doing to give myself some more SATA ports down here, so I could attach more things like this DVD, Blu-ray burner, plus a couple extra hard drives that would be lined up right here, probably. Um, that population of this slot here, to populate slot #2, brings down this 16x speed to 8 because they share a lane. Because There's a lot going on here. 2 different NVMe drives and 2 different PCI Express. So I'll have to think about this. I'll have to think about not using a SATA expansion card here in the slot. Um, I don't want to, in the old graphics card, that wouldn't matter to bring PCI Express 4 to down to PCI Express 3. But with a 3070, that for the first time, graphics cards are being made where the 16x slot is used. Like all of the 16 is used. Used to be back in the day that they only used the like 8 anyway. Didn't matter if you put it in an 8 or a 16 slot with the speed. Well, now these guys are so fast. They take up all of the lanes. They need every little bit they can get. So I have some decisions to make about it. I think my best choice of action might be to take all hard drives, put them into enclosures instead of getting a SATA card to put in here and using the Thunderbolt port to get like it might cost $100, but I could have a USB-C expansion. Uh, Sorry, what is that called? Sorry, it's after midnight, guys. The USB-C hub, you know, but it wouldn't be just USB-C. It would be Thunderbolt. That would be supremely expensive. However, I probably do need all the power I can get out of PCI Express 4 here. So I'm going to line up the slot right here. The teeth go in the slot. And this is as easy as pie. You just sort of push. It's in. It just installed itself. Wow. So I'm going to make sure that I didn't jiggle loose the cables here for the fan. Everything looks good. Now, if I were to remove it, I'd have to take my thumb and hit that lever again, push it down. So, but it's loose and wiggles. And so that's what these screws are here for. So you just take your thumb screws and you put them back, and that will secure them right over here. Sorry that my arm is kind of in the way. I hope this is better. I'm very sorry if I block things. You guys can't see stuff and get frustrated. But I'm working on the only computer I have to monitor myself. Usually in video production, you can see you have a screen and you see what you're showing the audience. But this usually is the computer that makes my screen. So I'm going to add the other thumb screw in here. Now, sometimes I tighten them down with the screwdriver. Um, but I think in this case, it's just going to go in okay. Okay, well, now I'm going to use the screwdriver. It's kind of, the hole, I think that was drilled in the case right there is kind of askew, and it doesn't want to take the screw unless you just sort of use the screwdriver. It's hard to fit my fingers that way, and you got to kind of like push on it. But other than that, and like ripping my flesh off right here, this has been mostly a good case. There's just a couple things I don't like about it. It's one of the few cases on earth you could still get and this is removable, a little cage here to put a DVD burner in. In video production, that's what you need. You need to rip, Blu-rays and such, and burn Blu-rays sometimes. Um, if you like need to make a home video and take it to somebody's house and they have a Blu-ray or DVD or something, you can, hand it to Grandpappy or somebody, and they can play it without fancy equipment. And sometimes they look at a USB stick and they try to put it in their Windows XP Dell and wonder why it doesn't work, And sometimes it's just you just pop it in. There's nothing beats a good old disc. Um, Now, where the heck am I going to get these cords? That's the eternal question: is where did I put? Okay, where would I put my cords? I would keep them together I'd keep them in a box that says EVGA. So I've got EVGA card and power supply. I just realized that. So it would be in a box that this power supply came in. And I think I could possibly go and find that. Let me look back up at chat. I don't see any chat going by right now on the screen. It must have just kind of gone away. Um, say something in chat right now, guys, so I can see the screen. Please, please. Um, my instinct is I know it would be a black box. EVGA just kind of has that kind of color scheme. Hello? Okay, thank you guys. Thanks. So man, that goes away real fast. I barely have time to read that. I did not catch everything that was just typed. Um, I have a clue where that might be right now. I don't know that it's inside. It may be like time to dig in the garage. But if I just find that one extra little cord right now, we would be up and running. And there really isn't much to it at this point. You plug in. If you think that that was easy, it basically is. You just, if you want to work on your own computer, instead of hiring somebody at like 75 bucks an hour, you could basically just get a screwdriver out and do a lot of things yourself with just a little bit of knowledge. It's one thing I wanted to teach online. I'm sorry if we lose connection. I'm stretching the limits of this Bluetooth headset. I have a, I have a, well, a box that just fell here in the closet. Nope, and that is not computer parts. I think I may know where this stuff is. So all you do is you just plug it in. You plug in all the cords in the back. You turn on the computer, and I should have a few things in BIOS that I should enable, such as resizable bar and a couple other settings. But I don't even have to do it. I could just start the computer and then double click on the drivers I downloaded, have them install. Voila, we're back up and streaming, and we're gonna be excited if this works. I mean, if the card is alive, if the card is alive. Um, Knock on wood. I hope you are, baby. Let's take my dish of screws there. Um, so I'm debating with myself. Should I go look right now and just kind of cut it? Let's touch how hot is the phone getting. It's actually not too bad, but just continuously recording with a cell phone can be detrimental to its health and safety. Um, I can tweet and say, "Hey, I found it," or "I didn't find it." If I don't find it, I'll just swap the other one back in. I mean, it's still just there on the counter, and you saw how quickly I could just go like so. I have a buddy who has a similar computer. He's a night shift worker. He's a dude that came over the other night to help me. He's super. I could say, hey, do you know where your box of cords are? Because EVGA would be universal with each other. Um, uh, and that could get us up and running. God, this is hard. I'm quite sleepy as well, so I think that's what we'll do, guys. I should go find the dang cords and alert you on Twitter whether or not I can go live. I want to monitor the fires, do the video roundups, what I missed today, because I just came back from a long drive to go get this puppy. Um, I want to know what their outlook is for Olazol and the others. Oh, look at all the white stuff on my hands. That's the powder coated gloves. Gross. Okay, there we go. And I think that would make this faster. I don't have to, I can take the headset off. I can run around and check the locations that I think might be where the box of power supply cords are, and we can reconvene, guys. So I hope that you have enjoyed the Moana Triumph thing, and almost. I mean, almost triumph. Okay, so I'm happy to have gotten it, as long as it works. Um, it's um it's a nice little baby. If all goes well, we will have a new kind of stream. It will just flow. That's I've got good internet. I mean, when it's reliable, the construction shenanigans aren't exactly wrapped up. Man, that is really clinging to me right there. I'll have to wash my hands. Um, it's like kind of makes me look transparent. The white powder on me. I prefer to be called an alabaster American. Well, that's harsh lighting and makes my veins pop out a little bit. Oh, weird. Um, so I think that's what we'll do, guys. What do you think? Haunted refrigerator? Yeah. Ready for Halloween. The card is Big Al says that card is going to have to oh no, it already moved. Okay guys, I have to touch the camera. It's gonna jiggle it. That card is going to have that new bear urine smell when you started up for the first time. Shut up. Shut up. Oh god, no. Yeah. It's ready for Halloween. Yep, totally. The haunted refrigerator is. I'm the gatekeeper and Zool is the keymaster or whatever that is. We should oh man, I wish we could all watch Ghostbusters together. That's my number one favorite movie of all time. Just can't be beat for what it is. Just goofy comedy, like in the innocent '80s before September 11th and before the hopes and dreams of America were dashed and all that. Remember that era? Everything was goofy bubblegum stuff, and we had neon shirts and stuff that you could blow on, and it would. I remember I had a shirt and I went on it, and you could see her like the heat where your lips were. I had one of those. I should have kept it. It was the cheesiest thing in the world. But overall, I'm pretty pleased with how clean the computer is staying. If you never want to clean your computer like almost ever, get these fine mesh filters. These are the bee's knees. You just sort of wipe them off. I'm going to do that. You know, you just sort of do this, and they're magnetic, and you put them back on. And this in front of your intake fans, as well as this mesh that's over the top of my computer there, just keeps all the dust out. Like normally, I would clean my computer right before filming any part of it, but it was this clean. Like I just opened the case and it's just clean. That's what those dust filters do for you. There's just a little bit to kind of wipe off on the leading edges of some of the fans. And the reason this is because I've had the door open. This is actually a glass pane that goes here. I'm not real into the glass pane trend. It's beautiful and everything, but I actually like lightweight computers that can travel, and that is not at all something that can travel. Um, it's not pleasingly aesthetic, but um, in the old days, at least when you had a solid steel or aluminum side, you had a lot more heat dissipation. It's a little bit more of a struggle when you have glass panes and stuff. I mean, glass is better than the acrylic windows, but I don't know. Let's, in my opinion, it might just should be little sections, like sections of glass where you could see stuff, like the portholes of a ship. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed that, guys. I think it's now like my quest is to go find the missing cable, and if I can do that anytime soon. Alan says, "Where's the neon lights and the anodized aluminum?" That actually is silver anodized aluminum. You should check out the MOSFETs cooler. Holy mackerel. The MOSFETs are under here. That's silver. That's silver anodized aluminum. That's a giant chunk of it right there. Um, it's a nice, tasteful black, white, and silver, color scheme, and it goes with the black and white case. I wanted pretty much all white. Now, it's not just a design aesthetic. If you drop a screw into a black case, it's like a black hole and you'll never find the thing. You got to shake your case, like where'd the screw go? You could just see stuff. The white reflects light. You have an entirely black case and that thing's going to be a black hole that just sucks in everything and you'll never find anything in there. You have to get out your flashlight and it's hard to film and hard to do anything. Um, but yeah, anybody have any last questions about the rig or the plan here? I don't think I can be, let's do live chat mode. Um, oh wow, I can actually use my finger. New car smell. Yep, yep, it does. Now my phone is overheating, guys. I'm gonna immediately shut it off. I'm very sorry, but the glass of touching the top here is hot to the touch. I am not gonna fry the phone. So thank you all for being here. I'm gonna go on a quest for the cables, and then we'll see if the baby is ready for prime time. Ooh, you know. So thanks for being here. It's been an hour and 15. Yeah, good night, Alan. Thanks, guys, for showing up and policing. I have no idea what you guys mostly said in chat, but I hope this was at least somewhat entertaining for you. And you know what that I'm doing stuff behind the scenes instead of just like hanging out or convalescing or something. I'm feeling quite a bit better. John says, cool. I hope you find your cord. Thanks for showing us the computer guts and the new video card. Yep, cool. Yeah, my pleasure. Um, and yeah, it's half complete. The system is half complete. Got to do more things to it. And thanks, guys, for being here. I may go live if I can find the cord real soon. I will get on the Twitter. It's at kwildfires.com. Now, there's probably not much of a video description here, but the phone's overheating. Got to shut this off. Thanks for being here, and I'll see you. I'll see you tomorrow, if nothing else. If I can't go live tonight. Thanks, guys. Let's. How do I get this off here? Um, oh no, I just did this on accident.